Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to make a video tonight just about the expectations that were had for this market heading into quarter four and how everything got tipped upside down and on its head and kind of how that happened. And with the recent calls that everything's now being pushed into 2026, I wanted to go into that a little bit more in depth so we don't get caught off guard going forward and end up in a situation very similar to the one we're in right now. Now, before I talk about the future, I want to talk about the present just really quick. And the first thing I want to point out is that we're 1 day away from closing the second weekly candle below the 50 weekly moving average. And unless we make a 20% move within the next day, that's going to happen. And it would take an absolute miracle for a 20% move in Bitcoin to happen right now. There is just not any sort of good news that's expected to come out or is going to come out, to my knowledge, that could make this type of move happen. And when you add that along with the fact that time wise, the 4 year cycle topped when it was supposed to, and we're really running out of time overall, it seems like things are playing out as history always has. The only thing that we really have hanging on that's working in our favor is that we still haven't set a lower low. We're not technically in a macro downtrend until we cross below that 74,500 mark. Alright guys, and the main reason I wanted to make this video today, especially after what we've just seen the market do here, is to essentially say that we need to be ready in this market to expect the unexpected. Going into this year, there was so much positive sentiment. We finally had a pro-crypto president. We finally had Gary Gensler out of the SEC with a new chair that was very pro-Bitcoin. We had a Bitcoin strategic reserve talking about being created, and one that was actually created. We had rate cuts expected. We had altcoin ETFs expected, and we had crypto legislation that Trump said he was going to sign in office as soon as it got to his desk. And there was so much positive sentiment going into this year after the run we had at late 2024 that we were going to have a great blow off top in Q4 of 2025, because Q4 is always a bullish time of year for crypto. But what actually ended up happening? We had trade wars that affected the market. We had tariff wars that affected the market. Trump's tweets sent the market for a ride multiple times. We had a government shutdown of 45 days that pushed off SEC approval of altcoin ETFs and crypto legislation that will eventually happen, but now it's going to take a little longer. We had unexpected inflation spiking due to tariffs. We had the Japan stock market starting to crash, and potential interest rates increasing, which caused a lot of the sell-off that we've seen recently. And we've had leaked info saying that treasury companies may have to change their classification and be removed from the stock market, which could cripple crypto reserve companies. And that could cause a huge ripple throughout the market if these companies start coming into serious financial problems. Now, with many new calls being made for 2026 to be the year of the bulls due to rate cuts happening, a new Fed chair being appointed, and quantitative easing happening with the assumption that trillions of dollars are going to be printed and risk assets will be sent to the moon, and Bitcoin actually following the 5 year business cycle, I just want everybody to keep in mind what happened this year, what we expected late 2024, and what actually ended up happening. And just keep in mind that things can always change and unexpected things will happen, and that the market is always going to price in things in the future that it believes will happen, which can catch you off guard very quickly. I'm not saying that Bitcoin can't get to new highs in 2026 or that we're definitely going into a bear market. Nobody knows what will definitely happen. But considering what has just recently happened and how off guard so many people got caught, the one thing I would say is just have some caution going forward that everything may not go as according to plan and things could get messed up along the way and catch you off guard again.